then you'll die.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome back, Jackpot DFS. Hope everybody had a good slate yesterday, and Happy New Year's. If you didn't see a video yesterday, I wasn't able to get one out, but able to get one out today, and we'll be putting out an NFL video for tomorrow's last Week 17 slate as well, a little bit later on today. But 5-gamer today, I like these slates a little bit better. I just think they're easier to target, and I think they're easier to win on as well. 10 gamers get a little bit too hefty, and you can just have all sorts of bad things happen on 10-game slates versus a 5 or 6 game slate. This is more my favorable territory, what I like specifically. But if you guys are new to the channel, my name's Doug. I'm with Jackpot DFS. It's the name of the channel. Hit that subscribe button, man. Gives you let you see the videos that we put out usually daily. NBA, NFL. We'll do some MLB as well as esports. As well, if you guys are back and know me, hit that like button, man. Helps the channel a great deal. And we use a nifty tool called Draft Dashboard. Draft Dashboard is a great tool. Allows you to do all your research in one place. Gives you projections, percentages of 5x in value, last few games history-wise against the opponent they're facing that day, etc. And gives you lots of different little tools that you can use to help you build an excellent lineup that will help you in GPPs and cash games, as well as allow you to build up to 150 lineups to export over to Draftkings or FanDuel. You can try all that and more for 30 days for just $1 by hitting that link in the description of the video. Just sign yourself up there, and that'll allow you to get to that and start building lineups today. Moving on, we have a 5-gamer today. Really like some of the spots you can get to in the slate today. Going to look at our point guard position first. Obviously, first guy on our list that's the most priced up point guard is obviously Trae Young. Trae Young's in a great spot to get going against Cleveland. Cleveland's one of those young teams trying to build up, and they've been without Kevin Love and some a couple other key pieces. So younger team, kind of similar to Atlanta. They're kind of a younger team too, trying to get solidify a team and build a core and trying to get themselves in position to at least make the playoffs. Atlanta's been pretty competitive so far this season. Trae Young, one of those great point per minute monsters that you can get that usually does pretty well in your lineup. Today he's coming in at 10-2 on DraftKings, pretty high priced, but for good reason. He's been pretty good this season so far. And today he comes in with that price at a 60% chance he'll 5x that value. 49.7 projection tonight for a score. Last few games against Cleveland, he's been just excellent. He's had a 60, a 31, a 40, 64, and a 53, excuse me. Pretty good spot today for Trae Young. Next guy down on my list is Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons has also been pretty good in his own right. Coming in today for 7% ownership, but $9,000 price tag. I know that'll scare some people, but he is going into a great matchup against guards of Charlotte. Not coming in at a great deal of ownership, 7%, but he is coming in at a 40.9 projected score. Last few games against Charlotte, he's been pretty good, 35, 62, a 54, and a 51. So bright spot today for Ben Simmons. Next guy on my list that has a 75% chance to 5x that salary of $7,900 is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. 7,900 today, coming in at 12% projected ownership, 39.3 projected score. Last few games against Orlando, last 3 against Orlando has been the 36, a 47, and a 41. So love that spot today for him, as well as our next guy on our list, a guard for Cleveland coming back the other way against Atlanta. He's drawing pretty good ownership today at 19%. 60% chance as well that he'll 5x that salary of $7,100 is Colin Sexton, projected for a 30.5 score. Last few games against Atlanta, he's had a 33, a 31, a 38, and a 35. So good reason to get behind a guy like Colin Sexton today. Next guy, last guy I'm going to mention today, for a nice price of 6,200 is Markel Fultz. He's kind of been reborn since he's been in Orlando. 60% chance he'll 5x that salary today. Coming in projected score of 26, 1.09 points per minute. Last 3 games he's had a 34, 35, and a 21. Last 3 against Oklahoma City, a 24, 26, and a 35. Moving on to our shooting guard position. First guy, obviously, on my list that's coming in projected high today is Victor Oladipo. $6,700 price today. I do think that's too cheap still. He's coming in at 100% chance he'll 5x that salary today. 28.7 projected score, coming in at 25% ownership. Last 3 games against New York, a 13, a 12, and a 36. But keep in mind, Victor Oladipo has not been healthy over the past couple seasons, so he's finally healthy again, looking like the old Victor Oladipo. So I do project today he'll have a better score. Last couple games, he's had a 43 and a 38. So I love that value today. Another guy that's really too cheap for the style he plays right now is Cam Reddish at $5,000 salary. 80% chance he'll 5x that salary today. 24.2 projection of score, 18% ownership. Last 3 games, he's had a 31, a 28, and a 25. Last couple against Cleveland, a 17 and a 27. Next guy on my list kind of let us down the other night, but I think he'll have a bounce back day today, is George Hill. You can use him as well over in the point guard position spot. $4,800 on DraftKings, 15% ownership. He's only projected today at 18.1. I think he can do better than that. 67% chance he can 5x that salary today. Last 3 against Orlando, a 14, 24, and an 18. So I like him today as well. And some guys that you can use that are backups, but I think can be good salary savers. A guy like Diallo for Oklahoma City as well, $3,900. Projected for 15.4 points today, but 75% chance he can 5x that salary. He's only coming in projected for 1% ownership, but he's had some strong first games of the season. He's had a 20, a 27, and 11. Do like Diallo today, and he's been pretty good against Orlando in the past. If this game turns into a blowout, he'll get exceptional playing time. So 23, 9, and 27. Gotta love that price for a guy that could see some considerable time today. And another guy on my list who let us down as well yesterday, who could be in a prime matchup where he could step back up and play well today, is Bogdanovic. Coming in today at a $5,800 price. 60% chance of 5x that salary. Coming in at 27.3 projection on score today. 9% ownership. It's at a 34, 34, and 11. Past 3 games against Cleveland, 41 to 27 and 35. So I think it could be a strong day to bounce back with a Bogdan today. Moving on to today with Atlanta and Cleveland. Let's get on to our small forwards. First guy on my list is Brandon Ingram. I know he got ejected the other night, let us down. He was on pace to really have a big game, but I think he bounces back today, gets his mental game back together. So today he's a point per minute monster, 1.32 points per minute, 38.9 projection and score. He's going to come in at high ownership today, 28%. However, for good reason. Brandon Ingram's in a bright spot today. He's been really good against Toronto. 42, a 41, and a 61 his last 3. 54, 30, and a 35 in his last 3 games. His usage rates is really high as well. So could be a nice day for Brandon Ingram. If you want to pivot down a little bit, still considerable ownership for Tobias Harris today, but 21% projected ownership. However, 60% chance he'll 5x his salary today at $7,300. Projection for 35.3 score. Last few against Charlotte, he's been pretty good. 50, a 43, and 34 the last 3 games. Last 3 games this season, he's put up a 41, a 54, and a 39. So great spot today for Tobias Harris. Another guy I really like who's been coming on strong this season and playing very well is DeAndre Hunter for Atlanta. 5,300 today on DK. 60% chance he'll 5x that salary. Coming in at a 23.4 projection and score with only 5% ownership. Do like that spot today. The last 3 games he's played has had a 24, 29, and 34 Against Cleveland, 2 games, 30 and a 31. So it plays very well against Cleveland, it appears. So like that spot today. I'm going to kind of look down and see if there's anybody. We just have to keep an eye on that New York news. Obviously, if New York gets, if New York has some more playing time, and also keep an eye on that Indiana news. If like guys like Warren are out today, etc., you could expect a guy to see some more playing time, like Aaron Holiday. He got the start last game. Justin Holiday had a decent day. Guys like that you can pay attention to. Reggie Bullock has played 40 and 38 minutes the last 2 games. If those guards out for New York are still out again today, then we can line up some cheaper salaries and save some salary by going with a couple of these guys. So, and then another guy like Kevin Herter has had some decent games here lately. Coming in at 60% chance of 5x his salary at $4,500 today. He's at an 18 to 18 at 22. He's projected for 24.2 points today. Against Cleveland, past 3, 19, 33, and a 17. So some cheap guys you can go to that kind of save you some salary. That can allow you to get up some guys like Brandon Ingram, etc. today. Moving on to power forward. The bonus Sabonis had been pretty damn good this season. 80% chance he'll 5x that salary today at $9,400. Still probably too cheap. Sabonis is probably going to get in that $10,000 range at some point really soon. $9,400 though. 42.2 projection and score today. 21% ownership. Last few against New York, a 37, a 49, and a 58. Been pretty on target. I'd expect a lot of ownership for him today, and he's in a bright spot. One of my favorite power forwards today. Another guy to go with is John Collins. Another guy really good at points per minute, 1.33. Projection for 38.6 today, 17% ownership. Last 3 games, he's had a 26, a 48, and a 36. Against Cleveland, he's had 33, a 50, and a 36. Get a sweet drink of my frosted coffee from Chick-fil-A. I don't know if you guys have had one of those before, but if you haven't, you're missing out. Moving down the list here. We'll have to keep an eye on this news here. Siakam was obviously benched for disciplinary reasons last game, so we'll have to wait and see. We didn't find out that he was going to be benched till after lock last time, so pay attention to that news. Maybe get a heads up where you can play a guy like Chris Boucher and save yourself some salary today. I think if he did something wrong, he'll probably most likely be back today. So, and he's in a decent spot today. Not in love with the price, but this considerable mention to keep an eye on that. You can save way cheaper by going Chris Boucher. He's a great guy. Fantasy points per minute on Chris Boucher is 1.43. So if there's some news out there that Siakam does sit today, then get yourself some Chris Boucher, obviously. Moving on our list today, I'm not really high on Zion Williamson today going against Toronto. They have a stronger defense. Looking down the list here, like I said, if Warren's going to be out today, you get yourself some McDermott. I think he's a nice salary saver at $4,900. He's had a 35 and a 30 the last two couple games. Coming in today at 24.2 projected ownership. I think if you have Warren sit and obviously injury news, he's going to get some playing time. He played 25 minutes last game, and it could be a nice day, especially going against New York. And this could be a blowout as well. So keep your eyes on that. And if you're playing multiple lines, I suggest just getting some of him because he's going to be out there and he loves to shoot and he's not shy. But don't necessarily love a lot of the power forwards. Dinalo missed the last game, but he may be back today. If he's not back today, then obviously it's going to get more playing time to Hunter, Reddish, Bagnon, etc. Maybe even a Solomon Hill, which I don't love Solomon Hill for a fantasy play because he just usually isn't that good for a fantasy play. Just kind of looking down the list here. I'm not really a big fan of playing Gordon Hayward. He's been really bad here lately. I mean, bright spot could be a Miles Bridges, although I don't like that matchup against the Philadelphia. Probably it for me, guys. Kind of short list. You kind of bounce around between that small forward and power forward position, I think, today. Moving on to our center position. First, obviously, Embiid's in a great matchup today. He has a 75% chance he's going to 5x that salary at 10 grand. Coming in at 19% ownership, 44.5 projection score. There is some blowout risk here. Although Charlotte has been pretty competitive this season, so we'll wait and see on that. Next guy on my list I like is Andre Drummond, but going against Atlanta. Atlanta usually is poor against defending bigs. So I like Andre Drummond today as a pivot away from Embiid. He is coming in at 21% ownership. Let us down a little bit, but Drummond is a great fantasy point minute guy, fantasy points per minute guy. 1.68 fantasy points per minute, which is fucking really good. But projected for 41.7 points today. 37 to 16 and 57. Against Atlanta has been really good. 49, 50, and 54 and a 37. So love his play today. I also like Julius Randle. I do think that's going to be a tougher matchup today against Indiana with their bigs. So I just kind of watch out for that. Kind of off him today. I have been on him a lot lately, but he let me down last game. And although I like Julius Randle and his fantasy points per minute number, I do think he'll have a tough matchup today, and it could be a foul situation or even a blowout scenario. So I'm going to be off him today. A guy I'm going to be on is a guy like Miles Turner. A lot of people are not going to be popular on Miles Turner usually, but coming in today, since it's a 5-gamer, 16% ownership, 80% chance he'll 5x that salary, 35.2 projection and score. He's had a 24, 23, and 37 the last 3 against New York. Moving down the list here, another guy to mention for a cheap value play. I mentioned him. A guy had hit me up on Twitter and asked me about the centers, and I did mention JaVale McGee a couple of days ago. But JaVale McGee can do a lot in a short amount of time. 80% chance he'll 5x the salary today at 4,100. If this game turns into a blowout or something like that, he'll get plenty of run. He does like to foul, so that's the only risk you really have him with McGee. He's a backup player. So take that for what you will. 24.2 projection and score today at 4,100 is a great savings and value. He's not coming in at great ownership, so I think you can pivot with a 5-gamer and get different with a guy like JaVale McGee. 4,100, he's had a 21, a 26, and a 25 the past 3 games, and he has developed a little bit of a 3-point shot. Last game I watched a couple days ago, he did shoot an air ball on the 3 he shot, but he's been pretty good this season. He's a rebound machine. He has upped his game a little bit where he can shoot some threes. So I do like a value play over JaVale McGee today. And if you're playing multiple lines, I suggest you get some. You won't be disappointed. He's been really good for Cleveland and getting more run with the Cleveland team than he was like with the Lakers and things like that. He's always been kind of like that guy that just comes off the bench and does what he does. He started for a couple different teams, but not really got that significant playing time. With Cleveland, he's getting access to some run. He's had 16, 16, and 13 minutes in the last 3. If Andre Drummond, who likes to foul sometimes as well, gets in a little bit of foul trouble, you'll see a guy like JaVale McGee come out there, and I think he grabbed 9 boards in like 4 minutes or something like that a couple days ago. So keep that in mind. Could be a nice pivot down today to save you some salary. Other than that, there's not too much to love at center today. You kind of go high or go low. I will mention a guy like Bismack Biyombo for Charlotte, $4,900 price. Has a 60% chance that he can 5x that salary today. He did have a 38 yesterday, so I do think this will be a tougher matchup with Embiid and all that, but like the price, he's really cheap, only coming in at 4% ownership. Ways to get different today. With a guy like Bismack Biyombo. Hardly say his name right. But anyway, he's put 29, 29, and 28 minutes the last 3 games. He's put a 23, a 24, and a 38 yesterday. So could get different and have a nice day today with a guy like Bismack Biyombo. Other than that, not too much to like. Just like I said, pay attention to that injury news today. Could save some salary with some guys like Bullock, guys like McDermott, guys like Aaron Holiday, guys like that to get different today. Just because we don't know the injury status and all that stuff just yet. But I think Warren most likely may be out until at least for a couple more weeks. And then you get a guy like Aaron Holiday you can save some salary with and things like that. So, but that's it for the video, guys. Hope that helps. We'll see you guys shortly for an NFL vid for tomorrow's slate. Will be the last full slate of the season, and then we'll get on to the playoffs. Rooting for my wife is a big Bears fan, so she has a tough matchup tomorrow with the Bears. With the Packers. They have to basically win to get in the playoffs. So that should be a game, interesting game, and we'll see how that kind of works out. But nonetheless, we'll talk about that in the NFL video. Guys, if you hadn't tried Draft Dashboard, what are you waiting for, man? In the description of the video, hit that link and get yourself started today. Why lose any more money? So give yourself a tool that can help you build lineups and help you put you in a more competitive spot where you can compete with some of the biggest DFS players in the world, and get yourself on path to trying to help you win more money that you're doing, that you could be doing in your DFS. Put yourself in a prime position where you can optimize and take advantage of that and get an advantage over the field. Only $1 for 30 days. Try it, see if you like it. If you don't, then you can discontinue the service. But what are you really losing with the buck? Nonetheless, guys, DMs are always open on Twitter. I'll post my Twitter link as well in the description of the video. Wish you guys well today on the slate. Good luck, and we'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.